What is considered one of the most or the most important story to hit Huntington Beach over the last 40 years? The Bolsa Chica Wetlands. Its significant ancient history, its proposed commercial development, the major lawsuits, the mitigation, the fight to save the Bolsa Chica, and its eventual restoration and stewardship by three main nonprofit groups, all culminating in this August 24, 2016 event, recognizing the 10-year anniversary of the beginning process of the restoration of the Bolsa Chica. The mayor of Huntington Beach, county, state, and the State Lands Commission, the owners of the saved property, told the details and stories of how 880-plus acres became the largest coastal wetlands restoration in the history of California, a significant achievement that initially began with one of the founding members of the Amigos de Bolsa Chica.
Well, when we began, which was 40 years ago, people looked at an environmentalist and sort of thought we were like hippies. We were a breed that no one really understood, and why did you want to save this swamp? So it was entirely different generations, and as we educated people, people became enamored of the Bolsa Chica and wanted to help us. So we started out with 25 members in a room, and we grew to thousands.
Before the thousands came, it was a different time back then, an era of more pro-development and a challenging political system. The newly formed Amigos de Bolsa Chica found its spirit of growing membership swimming alongside new political territory previously never ventured before.
So filled with our beliefs, we would go to Sacramento and we'd spend sometimes several days trying to influence the political scene. And we were very successful at doing that simply because people knew what we said they could believe. And then people were changing. The environment was becoming much more important. And state and federal laws did a lot to change how wetlands were protected.
With the introduction of the Coastal Act and the Coastal Commission, the winds began to shift in favor of saving the Bolsa Chica from development and positioning the land for restoration.
Because of the Bolsa Chica Conservancy, the Amigos de Bolsa Chica, and the Bolsa Chica Land Trust, along with our state and federal governmental partners, they were able to stop any plans for development and develop a plan and create funding to help save and protect and restore the Bolsa Chica wetlands for future generations.
Over $150 million was secured by October 1996 by way in part of many sources, including $20 million in state bond funds and a complicated mitigation deal between parties of the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach and the State Lands Commission. By 1997, the deal was done and planning was underway for what was being celebrated August 24.
With 10 years ago, with the opening of the inlet, that allowed the tidal influence to come into the wetlands and really make it a successful functioning wetland system that provides habitat for critical bird species and fish species.
It was important because to restore the wetlands, you had to have this flow of water. And so that's its importance.
The future of the fresh water coming through the inlet supporting the Bolsa Chica is now in jeopardy as that initial funding is slowly running out and a new source will be needed to continue extensive and expensive dredging and sustainability of the Bolsa Chica.
I think the future is going to be good. I'm energized. I feel that it's an important role for the Amigos and the other groups who work on behalf of the Bolsa Chica. We have got to unite in one cause, and that is to make sure that funding is available so that we can continue to maintain this magnificent resource.
We need to make sure that this stays sustainable into the future. So much effort and money and time and love has been poured into Bolsa Chica, and being that in some ways, we had to recreate these wetlands, they do need our care in the long term.
It's super important, I think, for our future generations that there's places like this, because unless you decide you're going to move away from California, you can't see this anymore. And that's where I think it's super important, so that kids get to see what it was like back generations ago.
And the only way you save Bolsa Chica is you have all these partners together, the stands, State Lands Commission, Amigos de Bolsa Chica, the Conservancy, all these people that come together. I mean, you figure this, 10 years ago, they were on that bridge, and now it looks great out there. And when you talk about the habitat and all the fish and wildlife that are out there and it's protected, that's great.
With over 90% of the wetlands gone in the state of California, the importance of continuing this mission is paramount to the interests of the state, the city of Huntington Beach, and to the stewards of this land that reach out with education toward the youth and visitors from around the world. It seems the journey of the Bolsa Chica is one of continual self-discovery. For Surf City Highlights, this is Matt Liffring.